All right, everyone, this is lesson 8, a game about eating. Feel free to pause the video and write down something for your right for discussion. What was your first experience with the game Pac-Man? All right, so take your time, pause the video, write down your thoughts on this question, and I look forward to reading them when you submit your work. Resume the video when you're ready. All right. Space Invaders was an outrageous hit, but it was nothing compared to the one that was to eventually become the icon of the video game business. So this guy here on the left-hand side is Toru Iwatani. He was a young pinball enthusiast who ends up joining the company Namco shortly after graduating from college in 1977. Remember, Namco is that company that partnered with Atari and started making those fraudulent Breakout and Pong machines in Japan. So Toru Iwatani joins Namco when he graduates. What he wanted to do was create pinball machines, but Namco only manufactured video games. So as a compromise, he creates GB, Bomb B, QTQ, and all of which were video pinball games. So if he says I can't make physical pinball machines, I'm just going to make video games about pinball. Okay, as you can see here, we got some pinball going on. And these characters in the center kind of are the basis of something that we're going to get to in a minute. In April of 1979, Iwatani decides to make a game other than pinball. He wanted to make a non-violent game and something that female players might enjoy. He decided to build his game around the Japanese word taberu, which means to eat. At that time, there were many games associated with killing creatures from outer space. I was interested in developing a game for the female game enthusiast. Rather than developing the character first, I started out with the concept of eating and focused on the Japanese word taberu, which means to eat. Iwatani was assigned a 9-man team to convert his concept into a game. The character he would produce for his game was Pac-Man, which was a simple yellow circle with a wedge cut away from the mouth. Okay, if you take a look at their the Japanese choking hazard symbol, and look who it is, Pac-Man choking on the dot. The actual figure of Pac-Man came about as I was having pizza for lunch. I took one wedge, and there it was, the figure of Pac-Man. So this is a true story as said by Toru Iwatani himself. Since the game was supposed to appeal to the female gamer audience, Iwatani felt that the monsters had to be cute. He settled on colorful ghosts that looked like mop heads with big cute eyes. In Japan, their original names were Fickle, Chaser, Ambusher, and Stupid. Each ghost had distinct characteristics. Blinky would change speeds as the game went on. He stays after Pac-Man always. Inky is unpredictable. He has unpredictable turns and direction. Pinky, always the first ghost to reverse direction, often traps Pac-Man from the backside. And Clyde turns off rather than approaching Pac-Man at all. So here we have Blinky, Inky, Pinky, and Clyde. Okay. The maze dots and power pills came next. There are 240 maze dots in a single board and 4 power pills. Players used a joystick to guide Pac-Man as he swallowed a line of 240 dots in the maze. The 4 ghosts swept through the maze trying to catch Pac-Man. There were 2 ways to earn bonus points. The first is eating cherries, strawberries, bells, keys, and other objects. Each time a player cleared a maze, the value of the fruit would increase. Second, you can have Pac-Man eat a power pill and consume ghosts. Around Namco, the reaction to Iwatani's game was not terribly enthusiastic. At the time, Namco produced 4 games: Pac-Man, Rally X, King and Balloon, and Tank Battalion. Most of the executives at the company really liked Rally X the best. It was a similar game where players maneuvered a race car around a maze, collecting flags and avoiding other race cars. Before Namco showed Pac-Man to Midway in order to get the game into the American marketplace, one change was made. Originally, he was named Puckman, a reference to the puck-like shape of the character. As you can see here in an original advertisement, he was called Puckman. Nakamura, the head of Namco, was nervous about American vandals defacing their posters, cabinets, etc., changing the P to an F. To prevent this from happening, his name was changed to Pac-Man. When the Midway president saw the 4 new games, he immediately thought Rally X was going to be the hottest prospect. There were 4 pieces that Namco was showing at the time. Of the 2 best games, one being Pac-Man, the other being Rally X, I sort of thought Rally X was the favorite. Once the games hit the American streets, Pac-Man quickly overshadows Rally X. More than 100,000 Pac-Man machines sold in the United States. Pac-Mania swept the country by storm. Arcades were purchasing entire rows of Pac-Man, changing the video game industry forever. Pac-Man appeared on the cover of Time magazine. It inspired a hit song and translated into a popular Saturday morning cartoon. Pac-Man appears in more than 30 officially licensed game spin-offs, as well as in numerous unauthorized clones and bootlegs. Pac-Man is the first game whose main character had a name. Pac-Man has the highest brand awareness. 95% of Americans recognize Pac-Man. Before Pac-Man, the most popular theme for games had been shooting, and specifically shooting aliens. After Pac-Man, most games involved mazes. Maze chases swept the nation. Games like Mappy, Eyes, Pengo, and Piranha all hit the market with very similar concepts. Hotels replaced gift shops with arcades. Grocery stores placed games near their entrances. Even some doctors' offices had arcade games placed in their waiting rooms. Despite the success of his game, Iwatani never received much attention. He only received a bonus of $3,500 from Namco. Iwatani's next game, Libble Rabble, was a bust. However, out of respect for his contributions, Namco promotes him to General Manager of Research and Development, R&D. Okay, if you want to look at the Pac-Man Fever song and the Pac-Man cartoon, I will have those links on my website, or you can feel free to just type them in from this video. Thanks for watching.